The top stories. Murder-suicide attempt rocked St. Joseph Village. Donville Inniss steps down as DLP General Secretary. And Netball's chance for redemption. Welcome to Nation News for Tuesday, August the 12th, 2014.
No matter where you are in the world, at home or abroad, Nation News keeps you connected with what's happening in Barbados through our website, video newscast, and online e-papers. So stay connected with Nation News. Your news, your time, your way.
What's being described as an attempted murder-suicide has rocked the St. Joseph community. Both parties survived and are receiving medical treatment at this hour. Eyewitnesses say Margaret Christopher was attacked at Paris Hill by a man believed to be her former partner just after 7 o'clock in the morning. The man cut the left side of her face and neck with a box cutter knife, then slit both his wrists. Resident Vera Brathwaite said he tore off his vest and quickly wrapped the woman's wounds and kept her alive until an ambulance arrived to take her to the QE8. The man, a joiner said to be in his 30s, was also taken to the hospital, but in a separate ambulance. The 6-year-old son of the pair witnessed the attack and was later taken away by a police psychologist. Prime Minister Fendel Stewart has no challengers for the presidency of the Democratic Labour Party, which begins its annual conference on Friday night. But Industry Minister Donville Inniss has given up the position of General Secretary, which reverts to George Pilgrim, a previous holder. Mr. Inniss said Mr. Stewart will have a lot to say in his conference speech on Sunday. Education, the minister added, will be a major part of the agenda.
Being a school of thought out there that the party has moved away from its commitment to education and access to education in Barbados. There are two matters to my mind that will help us as a party frontally address this in turn. One would be a report and discussion with the Minister of Education, Ronald Jones, not just about tuition fees, but about the revolution taking place in the educational system in Barbados.
Is the rising incidence of cervical cancer due in part to complacency? That question was posed by President of the Barbados Cancer Society, Dr. Dorothy Cook-Johnson, as she revealed that 19 women per year die from the disease.
Now we know that cancer of the cervix is virtually totally preventable, but like uterus and ovary, it has never attracted the empathy or the tenderness that breast cancer has evoked. These types of cancer have always been much more difficult to talk about. We can't get anyone to come really, except for your wonderful lady, to testify because people just don't like. Breast cancer is one thing, cervix and uterine, that is another thing. So we need to change this viewpoint. We need to give honor and pride to these organs.
She made the comments during the press launch of the Sagicor Globathon, a 5-kilometer walk and run fundraiser, which will be held next month. This Sunday will mark the start of the 38th Richard Stout Teen Talent Contest. Promoter Richard Stout says it promises to be a great show and that the life of the late entertainer Fat Man will be remembered.
We're also going to be honoring Urban Fat Man Weeks, the late Urban Fat Man Weeks who passed away last year in very tragic situations. And we're also going to be doing collections for a young lady called Angela Haynes, a former contestant of the Teen Talent production. She lost her home in a fire earlier this year, and we're going to be asking people to make donations to her as well.
The preliminaries and semi-finals of the contest will be held at Davy South Winds, while the finals on the first Sunday in November will be at Hilton, Barbados. Barbadians who helped build the Panama Canal may yet receive national recognition for their sacrifice. Foreign Minister Maxine McLean told an audience at the Barbados Museum on Monday night that while she is unable to commit to her cabinet colleagues, she is of the belief that by the time Barbados celebrates its 50th anniversary of independence in 2016, there would be a memorial to those who went to Panama. Next is Carol Martindale for our weekly commentary.
This year, a new face in the Pick of the Crop Calypso final Miguel had a song called Guntown. It aptly describes the situation with the upsurge in the use of illegal guns in Barbados right now. Miguel's song was just an echo of what we all know has been happening here for a while. It's a problem which we need to urgently solve if we don't want to become like Jamaica, Trinidad, the Bahamas, Puerto Rico, or indeed so many of our neighbors. We know illegal guns are associated with illegal drugs, gangs, and turf wars, all leading to brutal violence with innocent people often caught in the middle. Every law-abiding citizen must support the police in their efforts to stem this dangerous problem before it engulfs this country that we call home.
In sport, Barbados' netballers have a chance at redemption later this month after criticism of their performance at the Commonwealth Games. The senior national team will be competing in the Americas Championship in Calgary in Canada starting next week. It's the official qualifying tournament for the Netball World Cup, which will be held in Sydney next year. The top 2 teams will qualify for the Australia tournament. The country's richest road tennis tournament will serve off on Monday with $20,000 in prizes at stake. The Monarchs of the Court tournament will see the winner take half of that. 40 of the island's top players will compete at Belfield, Deacons and Brandon's. And finally, want to be a porn star? Well, there's a class for that. Pegasus Productions, a Canadian adult film company, has started offering a one-day training course about the porn business to prospective male actors for $300 Barbados. Course attendees get to learn about the business, talk to current actors and actresses, and see and try out different positions firsthand, though they apparently have to keep their underwear on. 50 men applied to be in the Academy's inaugural class, but only 9 of those 50 made the cut. And that's Nation News for Tuesday. For more news, log on to our website, nationnews.com, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And of course, get your Midweek Nation on Wednesday.